turn again. Lauren, one of the things I forgot to mention was that you'll see some of our older children around. They have name tags on saying when they graduated from here, where they are now. Some St. Joseph's Prep, Devon Prep, Mary and Mercy, West Catholic, and Cardinal O'Hara High School. So just things are happening. Good stuff is happening, and we're very happy. We want you to remember in prayers 3 of them up here who all took the Mary and Mercy exam 2 weeks ago. So they had different responsibilities. How did you do? One said, how did you do? I aced it. So it was, and one of them had a quick test with Dr. Carol Latham, who's the music person there, auditioning for a big scholarship at Marion. So you'll hear her voice. She'll say something later on. She's hanging out. As the reading from Nehemiah said, this space is holy space. Some of you who are part of hymns remember my famous sermon at West Catholic, where in the auditorium there at West Catholic, remembering all the people who had been part of that school for so many, because it was what one time was the girls' school at West Catholic. And I took off my shoes and I said, for this is holy ground. Going back to the Old Testament when Moses stood before the burning bush, God told, come no closer, you're standing on holy ground. This is holy ground. Because this space literally was the sanctuary of our church. And for the children, we'll have a chance to come in here and pray, and we'll have school masses, class masses in here. Our school masses are downstairs in the auditorium. You'll be invited to come down there as well and see that space. But that's where we have the whole assembly of the 200 children and the faculty and staff. But we're going to do school masses here, so this is a holy space. But there was a period of time when it was still holy space, but it didn't look like holy space. And back where the folks are sitting in the back corner back there, on a June morning, I sat at a table. We had to dust it off first with Jack. And we talked about the dream, what this was going to be. And the architect was there, and then one by one the different contractors would come in. And I found it fascinating. Like, they would have intimidated me to death. They didn't intimidate Jack one bit. You know, yeah, you can do it. You know, you can do it. There's no problem. But then Jack, the practical man, came through. He was never a teacher. And so on this space, the question was, the architect forgot bathrooms. Jack said, they can go to the second floor. We can't go to the second floor. So we don't have any plumbing into that. So we convinced him that, yeah, first graders and kindergarten kids need a bathroom nearby. But he was open to that. But in the midst of this, people were literally tearing the place apart. The demolition people were in here. And just a little funny story about something, but also a very beautiful story. It gave us a chance to do something a little bit different. In the original architect's plans, this chapel was to go from this wall to the far wall where you sat before. All of this was to be chapel. But then the principal at the time, Sister Rita, said, well, we need a little bit more space, and so we need a classroom over there. But what happened was, because this was going to be chapel, the window in that room over there was to be retained as a stained glass window, this one here. The window back here was already here. And so the gentleman who gave us the windows, over 100 windows, $250,000, the installation of the windows, and a wonderful man, unbelievably good person. But that window was never replaced. And so it's still a boarded up window. But we got our art teacher to come in to make it a mural. And how beautiful it is, because it's St. Catherine Drexel, whose community, the Sisters of the Blessed Sacrament, who live in our convent at St. Barbara, and several of them will be here today. St. Catherine with the African American and the Native American child at her hands. So very, very fitting to remember the saint, local saint, who is so much a part of educating children of color in this country. And so we're very grateful with that. It was an accident, but it happened, and it was a blessing. It's a real blessing. So that whole idea of this school, a Catholic school, how important it is that children, most of whom are non-Catholic, recognize and see what Catholics do, how we worship, what is important to us. Right now, the Blessed Sacrament is in the tabernacle here. So Jesus is here in the person of the Eucharistic Lord. But we have the motto of the Sisters, Immaculate Heart Sisters, Sister Service of the Immaculate Heart, several of whom are here. Remember always that the unseen teacher in this school is Jesus. Jesus is the teacher. Isn't that what the people call him? Rabbi, teacher. What do you have to say about this? What do you have to say about that? So this space, I hope, will be a space that will become very, very important to our children. How blessed we are to have this. And in various places, there are things from every renovation that took place in this church. The lady who was catering the breakfast that you had, her father was the one who was our last remodeler of the church before it became this space here. So there's just so much in this space that means so much to us. So we're going to now do a rite of blessing. Not that these things haven't been blessed many times over. This altar was the altar from the convent here at St. Rose, the altar in the convent. Just think of all the times that the sisters, for 90-some years, prayed in the presence of this altar. There's just so many things that say, God is here, Jesus is here, and for all of you, many of you who are unbelievable donors, givers, supporters, people who come in, teach, run libraries, do all the things that you do. It's because of you that Jesus lives here as well. Not just the sacrament, not just the crucifix, but the people who want to make certain that in this place, Jesus Christ is the teacher. Jesus Christ is present. And to him, total praise. Total praise be given to our Lord and God. Amen.